Hi, everybody, and welcome to the chair. Now, quickly, I had to do a video because uh, one of the finer people I think in life passed away, and maybe you don't know who Dawson McAllister was or is, but um, he was a speaker, radio host, author. Most importantly, he hosted a radio program called Dawson McAllister Live. And it was on Sunday nights on the local uh, pop stations. Uh, like, you know, 9 to midnight or whatever it was, wherever you were. Um, for some reason, I gravitated toward his programs when I lived first down in San Diego, and then I moved up to North County. And I was still able to get his shows, which I was very thankful for. But it was all predicated on helping kids my age at that time. So I was, a teenager trying to figure out life and all that. I had my problems too, but it would be interesting to hear the people call in the shows uh, every Sunday with their problems. And it would make me want to go help others. Even though I had my share of problems, I would still be flabbergasted by what the people would call in and talk about. And Dawson would give it to people straight of what they needed to do in his mind. And yes, he was Christian, and it was based pretty much all on that. But to me, I never really looked at it that way. From an outsider's point, even though I was Christian at one point. And people can look at, religion and think better, right? So he would always factor that in. Hey, go, if anybody doesn't help you, go to a church and find help there, or read the Bible, whatever the case was, he would say. And I just remember that growing up, 15, 14, 13 years ago. And then continuing on and listening online wherever I could on his website. He would still have these shows, and then all these calls from back in the day that would come in, and they would play it on a loop. And most of them I truly remembered and whatnot. And there was a podcast that he had, and then a show on Sunday, show on Tuesday. That really touched me after so long. Because, growing up again, I had problems, and I always used like music and sports, and then the show came on, and I was just into it. Who would call next, and what advice would he give? And it would make me want to help people. So I just wanted to talk about him in that way. He passed away on December 17th, 2020, out in Tennessee, where he did the radio programs and his podcasts. 70, 74 years of age. I was so thankful, though, listening to whatever he would say. And he helped a lot of people. He helped a lot of people. A lot of youngsters, I should say, from like 13 to 28 years old. And I realized once I got older, I couldn't have his help, but I could learn from the examples and learn from everything. But he made books. He made suicide prevention one of his passions. Um, I thought to myself that that's really good. He probably saved a lot of lives because there could have been 1,000 or so kids that were thinking about it. But hopefully his words helped, and then I probably helped a couple of people along the way say, hey, don't kill yourself. Things will be better. Just do this. Just do that. One thing, his son Fulton has significant disabilities due to a brain injury and a car accident. So he often wrote about Fulton and encouragement that he would have, and he had a blog as well that he would write on. But the support of teenagers, I always thought that was great because as a writer, as a minister, radio podcast host, and public speaker, he often talked to the teens and, again, preventing suicide and cutting and abuse and addiction. Getting people out of the sex work, mental health, parent relationships, unplanned pregnancies, support for the military families out there. And then calling in, I would hear people say all that, and then, friendship and relationships and dating, sex, and marriage, and faith and the Bible. I was so not really into, the Bible part, just in the part that was just helping out people and young people, like I was at one point. And like I said, I was going through things, and his shows would come in on Sundays, and I'd feel a little bit of positivity through all the negativity that was going on at the time. And then I'd still go through. But then I remember certain things he would say, how to get through certain things, and then I'm fine again. And then I'm that age again. And it's weird because it's not a great thing to look back to, going through whatever you did, but it's kind of I hate to use this term, but battle scar, an example, something, right? It's something to learn as you go older, and then you could pass that advice down to people younger than you. So for Dawson McAllister to have his show every Sunday, and then I'd pick it up later on as I'd find him online. It always went out to help the youth and the teens and the young adults just trying to figure their way out of life and into their positive thinking, I guess you would say. Probably did wonders on me because I think without that show for a couple of years, I probably would have been lost. I've tried talking to psychologists and people, but I never really wanted to speak. But when that show came on, it felt like those kids, those young adults were speaking for me. Because eventually one of those stories that the people shared were calling in to get advice for, it would finally be something I'm going through. So I'm thankful for Dawson McAllister. I'm thankful for his words, and I still remember the first time I heard his show. I don't remember. I think I was probably 16. And I don't know if I was really going through anything, but it felt like it. It felt like I was going through something. But it was weird because I was rolling with, I can't remember, a friend and then her sisters. And we were just driving around Carlsbad, and the show would come on. The show would come on. It was a Sunday night, and people were calling in, talking about their problems with addiction, whatever it was, and the sisters would be laughing, but it was kind of a hypocrite kind of thing because they were going through almost the same things. So I thought to myself, what's going on here? Why are they laughing at those people when they're going through the same thing? And it just boggled my mind. And that kind of, you know, got my curiosity about people and things, and I started to learn more and more from the Dawson McAllister programs. So, rest in peace, Dawson McAllister. Thank you for everything. All the words you've said, all the things you've done for everyone out there that need advice. And take care, everyone.